It's the midweek installment of Hot Stove opening day, just a little better than a week away. Good morning. Carol Reynolds, Matt Bass, Lauren Shahadi is with us today. Joel Sherman is with us today, as is Keith Costas. We have spring highlights. Keith has a game like a Jeopardy-style game.
What is Venus?
No, not yet, Keith, not yet. I have a hunch it's coming,
Just a
though.
hunch?
Right, and we've got Joel Sherman with the very latest on what's happening. There's still free agents out there. Anthony Castrovis is going to join us as well. So there's not a lot of news because
we're getting there, though.
The players that were free agents yesterday are still free agents today.
Oh, man, there's going to be a lot of guys, like I've said all along, will not play again. That's just collateral damage of what we've gone through. They won't play again. But we are getting to that point where rosters are starting to get trimmed.
Right.
You know, guys are going back to the minor leagues. You think about the logjam, all right? You still have guys in Major League camp that are going to get sent to the minors. And so that's why a lot of these free agents that are still sitting out there looking for jobs are not going to find them. Even in AAA, the rosters start getting tighter.
Yeah.
And so it's a game of musical chairs. We saw Jed Lowry sign a contract. Wasn't for a lot of money, but he got out to play, and that's the whole key. If you're looking for money at this point in time, you're probably not going to get it. The whole key is getting on the field.
Right. I mean, there's still some moves to be made.
Make your move, partner.
Yeah, make your move, partner. So as we talked about, there's not a lot of new news. However, I think it's a worthy exercise, as we say good morning to Joel Sherman, to lend some perspective to the teams that everybody's kind of gushing over this spring. Joel, good morning. The Dodgers, the Blue Jays, everybody's darlings, everybody's favorites to make long, deep runs because of who they added. But they did lose some players as well this offseason.
Yeah, Matt, Harold, you're talking about kind of looking at big perspective. It happened as quick as we thought. A week from tomorrow, the regular season begins. And, if you look at who lost the most quality this offseason, think about the Dodgers. Max Scherzer finished third for the Cy Young, and he left for the Mets. He got the largest per annum contract ever to leave. Corey Seager was the MVP of both the NLCS and the World Series in 2020 when the Dodgers won their first World Series since 1988. He left for the largest contract given out this offseason, $325 million with the Rangers. Now move to the Blue Jays. They lost the Cy Young winner, Robbie Ray, and they lost the guy who finished third in the MVP, Marcus Semien. And yet, if you look at every projection system, like here, for example, Fangraph's projection system for this year, the Dodgers have the number one projectable win total in all of baseball with those 97 wins. The Blue Jays have the number one win total for the entire American League. So why do these projection systems still like these teams? Well, the Dodgers obviously did a lot to fix their lineup by bringing in Freddie Freeman. You're going to get the shuffle, right? Trey Turner is going to move to shortstop to replace Seager. Max Muncy will do a lot of second base. He'll move around a lot to replace Turner. And they put Freeman in at first base. No harm, no foul in general to that lineup. It will be probably the best in all of baseball. The pitching side, though, they did not add quite the level of Scherzer. Their best add is probably Andrew Heaney, who is kind of a statistical, analytical darling, but hasn't performed that way on the field yet. We'll see if the Dodgers could do it. And if you just think where the Dodgers were last season going into the season, where they made us wonder if they could defy the saying that you can have too much starting pitching. They had kind of 7 quality guys when you include guys like Dustin May and David Price and Tony Gonsolin, besides their guys at the top. They are not in that situation here. You see this group, this is what they went into last offseason. And just to show how fragile it all was, they needed to trade for Scherzer at the trade deadline to feel complete. They go into this offseason, obviously, with Scherzer in New York, with Trevor Bauer still on administrative leave until at least April 16th. They still have Buehler and Urias at the top. They brought back Clayton Kershaw, but that area is not as perceived strong as we thought it was last year. And if you just flip to the Blue Jays, they did kind of a clean switcheroo, right? Robbie Ray was a Cy Young winner. They brought in Kevin Gausman, who was one of the top pitchers in the National League. And they brought in Matt Chapman to play third base, who is not the offensive performer that Simeon is, but he does bring a lot of power, and he brings defense to a team that needs it. He might be the best defensive player in the whole sport. But the key to me to the Blue Jays situation is not guys they brought in this year for why I think everyone feels so good about them. It's guys they brought in last year who were not full-time Blue Jays all last year. George Springer was their big signing last offseason. Springer only played 78 games due to a variety of leg injuries. And Jose Barrios was traded for in July. He made 12 starts, and he pitched exceptional, especially in September, as the Blue Jays were trying to get into the playoffs. They fell just short with 91 wins. But if you're wondering why people feel so great about the Blue Jays, it's not only what they did to replace Ray Simeon this offseason, it's what they did to bulk up last year.
Yeah, no, those are great points. Joel, the one thing I'll throw at you with LA real quick, too, another question mark. Like him or not, you knew Kenley Jansen was thrown in the ninth. They have that question mark now. Do they have the arsenal to figure it out? Yes, but it's still not as set as it was last year. Your thought on that?
Yeah, Harold, I mean, for the last 10, 15 years, they knew when it got to the ninth inning, give the ball to Kenley Jansen. And for better or worse, usually the better, he's one of the best closers in the history of the game. They had that. My suspicion is Blake Trinan will get the majority of these opportunities. I would remember they lost Joe Kelly also. They've done some stuff over the last year, Harold. You know, if you remember, last year they signed Tommy Kahnle, who pitched with the Yankees. He needed Tommy John surgery. He didn't pitch last year. He'll probably become a factor this year. They re-signed Danny Duffy in the offseason. He's probably a guy who doesn't start the season, comes in as a lefty specialist, lefty longman and specialist at some point. They have a lot of arms down there, Brusdell, Gratterall, a few others. But to your point, it is not as rote as it's been for a decade plus for the Dodgers, where it's figure out starter to middlemen, and we're giving the ball to Kenley in the ninth.
Yeah, Brusdell Gratterall is my guy, man. I mean, it's just he's so automatic. He's got the brain of a closer. He's got the stuff. I think there are options there too, but it's certainly a worthwhile discussion. Joel later on is going to join us and have kind of a similar take on other stars that we thought would be legacy players in the uniforms they wore last year. Carlos Correa leaving the Astros. Most notably, Freddie Freeman leaving the Braves. I mean, goodness. Joel, thank you. Like, you know, Tony Gwynn, Robin Yount, and George Brett, where have you gone, right? Oh, and by the way, speaking of George Brett, we're going to visit with him coming up in about 10 minutes on the program.
Oh, I didn't know
but
that.
guys, that you know, the day and age of somebody wearing one uniform throughout the entire course of a distinguished career, it's just not the way pro sports is anymore. Not just baseball, pro sports.
Well, I think it's the money. You know, obviously, when you have a legacy player, you're investing long term, but all the models everybody's looking at now, whatever the sport is, they've all dove into the numbers of looking at age and not legacy. And I'll get into a little bit later of marketing the sport. I think it's hurt baseball more than any other sport. Do you know how many points LeBron is averaging at the All-Star break?
No, he's averaging
Steph Curry?
30 cents.
But did you care at the All-Star game? No. LeBron was in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Bryce Harper's been to 2 All-Star games. Come on, man. He's won as many MVPs. We just don't. We've turned our All-Star game into thinking that it's important. It's an exhibition to market the sport.
Wait a minute. Bryce Harper's been to the All-Star game every year of his career.
He hasn't been the last couple of years. He wasn't there last year.
Keith, can you fact check that, please?
He was not there last year, but he's a 6-time All-Star.
6-time All-Star.
Okay.
All right. He should be there every year.
It ain't 2, dude.
Well, too many. 2 less. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
is that
I know.
We had 40 brand new All-Stars last year at the All-Star game.
Right.
40. Is the sport really that good, that young? I don't think we're getting guys in the All-Star games at the Midsummer Classic to promote the game. I'll get into that later.
That's fair. But, you know, 2 All-Star games.
6. Okay. Who cares about the facts? Exactly.
It's never been a strength of yours, but that's all right. We do understand.
But if you had a career year as a player, you want to go, right?
Oh, I agree. But I think we got to look at ways, like this year's All-Star game, Albert Pujols has to be at the All-Star
Of course.
Has to be.
He will. They'll do that. I mean, there was the year, the Yount Gwynn year, or the Ripken Gwynn year. Remember when they were both kind of it was their final All-Star games, and it was pretty magical for both of them. Albert will be there. They'll figure out a way to, if he's not there based on merit and performance, they'll add a roster spot for Albert, for sure.
Shouldn't even worry about it. We should have extra spots on the roster regardless.
For this kind of thing?
For guys
it's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Good morning.
Good morning. Sam on Twitter says, how do I get your guys' job? What's the
easy?
Show
Mail
up here.
it in till 9 a.m.
Show up here one day, and they'll probably hire you and kick us out.
Be late to the production meeting.
I'm kidding about that. Do not show up here one day. I mean, we can barely get in with all the protocols now.
Jeepers.
Yeah. Okay.
I
You
feel
still
like,
fill out that little form in the morning?
what do you mean, do I still? You have to.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, that means you don't.
I do.
No. You know as well as I do. The Herald rules are different around
I
here.
fill that thing out. Got it. I'll
Just
show you.
screen check it from the week
If we
before.
call Millar America's guest, you are the universe's guest.
Look, here it is. It's filled out. As a matter of fact, it was the Philly Fanatic.
That was yesterday's.
That's today.
I feel like the show keeps us busy, but nobody, gentlemen, is as busy as this dude. Did you see this? Courtside at a basketball game, couldn't squeeze in a haircut. Had to get one courtside. The players are like, what the? Imagine.
Is that really happened?
Why are you so, you don't believe anything? It's a video.
Interesting. Like high school.
Got us to thinking of odd hairstyles recently at baseball games.
You're looking in the
You
NBA.
know where I'm going. I know.
I don't know where you're going.
What do you mean?
Odd hairstyles at baseball games?
Yes, roll it, Camiotti. This person spent a lot of time. Maybe we need to be more creative with our style. You could grow this out up top.
Who's he look like, Matt?
Rolo Comiotti is right for that dude.
Roll it, Camiotti!
Or bring our own fans like this dude. This should be a fan giveaway with a setup, an oldie but a goodie. This guy
like that.
living the life. Do you believe in extraterrestrial activity?
What do you think? What do you think? Do you think I'm the kind of guy that would believe in extraterrestrial activity?
I saw it with my own eyes.
She would. She's the
What's that
type.
supposed to mean?
Yeah. Okay.
What's
No,
that
I do
supposed
not.
to mean?
I do not.
Remember when I said I worked at Abercrombie and you were like, you would?
Because
What does that mean?
you believe everything. You believe every suit.
I believe the good in people.
Oh God. I believe the children are our future.
Do you believe in aliens? Yes or no? Yes?
Oh, yeah, there's some ghostly things going on. What we got?
Here's what the Padres have to say about it.
Just don't have Tampa, please.
I do not believe in aliens. I don't think there's any proof of them. And they're not in this solar system, that's for sure. It's scientifically proven that there's no aliens in this solar system. And if aliens are real, they could not get to this solar system. It's too far away. So
yeah, life other than Earth? Absolutely. Can't explain, stuff in Egypt, all the pyramid stuff. I mean, some crazy stuff out there. You never know.
Watch me, look at these biceps.
I love history.
Yeah.
The answer is yes. Why don't you believe? You think, what is this all for? You think we're just here?
No.
We're alone?
I don't say I don't believe in anything. I don't believe that like E.T.'s going to come down with his creepy Arsenio Hall finger and fix everything.
Yes. I was in Ohio driving. It was 4 a.m. I'm not kidding. I was driving on a dark corner. Why are you already looking away? You're not engaging? Avoid eye contact? I'm not kidding. There was a light above me. It was following my car, and then it bounced. Boom, away. What's that?
I don't know.
Explain that.
Alien.
Possibly another car.
No, it was in the sky. Was it the Jetsons?
Meet George Jetson.
His boy, Elroy. Jane, his wife.
And what was the dog?
Leroy?
No, the dog
Elroy.
Astro.
Astro.
Oh, Astro.
Yeah.
That's also the name of David Price's dog,
No.
right? He named his dog after.
He died,
See,
yeah.
it comes full
Oh, he did? I didn't know that.
Oh, wow.
That's the name of David Price's
Former dog.
former dog.
Wow. Sorry to hear
I
that.
didn't mean to be insensitive.
Of course. Voicemail time.
Oh,
What could
great,
go wrong?
Great.
One of you ought to chip in and buy Matt Vasgersian an electric razor with pre-shave and aftershave. Matt's got to stop pretending that he's a hippie.
Yes.
Stop pretending, man.
Does it look like I'm pretending to be a hippie? I wear like dad clothes.
You go to Bougie Country Club and wear white shoes.
I listen to hippie music.
Quit pretending.
Like what? What's your favorite song of all time?
That's a bad question.
Okay. Let's just,
Wait,
let's go to the board.
What's your favorite color?
Oh, my God. Make
George
sure you
Brett
hold that
coming on the
phone
show.
close to you so we can
Anthony
hear you.
Castrovince on the best rotations in baseball. Play that. I don't like any of you. Play that one.
Oh, yeah, I have
That's
that
how
one.
I feel right now.
Yeah.
If you don't believe in aliens, ghosts, definitely with us. Watch G-Man Choi. G-Man Choi believes in ghosts. I don't like any of you. It's true.
There it is. There it is. There it is. Look out. Look out. Look out. Look out.
I thought for sure that's where we were going.
What's your favorite color?
What's your favorite color?
Love that. Bye. Bye for now.
Bye.